Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the VO Luncheon. This is episode 57. Nate said he had something, they had something to do towards the beginning. Might not make the beginning. We'll see. Um, Andy, he had to leave early last time, so I can only assume he's busy, and Rabid is currently on away status, and hasn't responded to my DM, so I assume he's busy too. So for right now, until anyone shows up, this is just a Stone and Lady Stone luncheon.
Hello.
Okay, so first I'll show you what's for lunch today. Lunch today, courtesy of Lady Stone, is Bougie BLTs, which is a pesto mayo, obviously bacon, lettuce, tomato, and I believe the cheese you added was mozzarella cheese. It is delicious, my love. Thank you.
Okay.
Mm. Mm-mm. Okay, so in current news for us, we must show you our boy ended up on Dusty M. Douglas or Dusty Dubs on TikTok. And this is the cutest video ever. Yes, we gotta watch this. Hang on. We gotta. Is it picking up the audio? I think it is. Hey, Morocco, you calm down. Let me see if it should pick up the audio. Not, I might have to share the screen, but
You boy.
yes, and he was currently begging for a piece of bacon right now. Isn't that right, you friff? Don't you snuff me. Don't you snuff me. Give me that snuff. So, um, today's podcast idea is more or less about organization, because it's officially spring. I'm looking at the weather right now, and let's see. Yeah, it's looking to be not going to get any colder than 40 degrees and at night the next week, and pretty much by the middle of March, we're pretty much in the clear. I don't think there's any more chance of any winter weather. So, it's officially spring. So, it's spring cleaning time. And one way to keep yourself organized when I was in school was something called a trapper keeper. Did you ever have a trapper keeper, my love?
No.
You never had a trap? Oh yeah, you were homeschooled. So,
Plus, it costs money to have one.
all right. Um, I mean, how you were homeschooled? So how did you keep organized? Did you just have your own everything in your room?
No, I wasn't homeschooled in my room. I was homeschooled in the family room.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know your mom probably did the homeschooling in a different room. I'm talking like, where did you keep all your supplies for tests and everything you had to take?
Well, I had my own desk, which was probably the size of an office desk.
Yeah.
And I had stands that kept folders.
Mm-hmm.
And I had cups to keep my pens and pencils in.
Right.
So nothing too fancy. I just had a little bit more space. But most of the time, when mom worked in offices, when she was transcribing, whatever they didn't want office wise, like folders, all those things, things to keep the folders in one place and organized.
Right. But basically, so you had like an office desk like this, practically.
Probably not as cheap looking.
Well, just as an example.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Since I went to the horror show that is public school, I didn't get that. Let's see. I should have kept Google up. So, I'll show you the kind of desks we had. Let's see. Let's see. School desk with a lift up lid. I had to sit at one of these. If you go to public school, you know what I'm talking about. These cheap ass things that have just enough room for like a few binders and like some pens and everything. So you had to choose what stuff was going to be at your desk in homeroom because the other desks didn't have this. Let's see. Let's see. See, when I was a kid, yeah, there was also the school desks that were these without any lift up lid, so they had no room. It was basically
just a piece of wood.
Piece of wood and a piece of plastic and some metal all welded together. Yeah. And there was that little basket down there at the bottom where you could put your books for that particular class, but otherwise you had to keep everything you weren't currently using for your current class in your desk in homeroom or in your locker. And I mean, once you got to this thing, we didn't even get like our own personal lockers until middle school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's when we actually got lockers, and you actually had to memorize the combination and everything, because the padlock was built into the locker. That way, you know, it couldn't get stolen.
Seems very inefficient.
It's just how they had to do it. Again, it makes it so that, you know, no kid can steal it, because, yeah, we had some sticky fingers at our schools growing up.
That sucks.
Well, every school has it, and when you're in a school district of, you know, 50 kids, it's sort of the expression, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch, you know?
That is very...
Hey, Stone.
Andy, how's it going?
Going all right? Sorry about being late. I was stuck in the bathroom.
Hey, no problem. Well, what's so funny?
I was stuck in the bathroom. I had this huge turd that would just not come out.
Was that the case, Andy, or was it something else?
I didn't even hear what she said.
Was it a huge turd that was stuck?
Well, actually, yes, it was.
Oh, okay. Boss, freely admitting it.
It was all...
To be fair, though, at least she didn't say, "Oh, I was whacking off." Or...
That would have been my second choice, but it's like, it's before it's probably before lunch or after lunch for you, so you probably don't have, you don't do it on an empty stomach, and you don't do it just after you ate. You might throw up.
Can you throw up doing that after you eat?
Well, I mean, typically the idea is if it's strenuous exercise and it's like right after you eat, then and you don't stretch or anything, then yeah.
I mean, it's like,
oh, okay.
It's like,
Oh.
It's like I'm full and I'm already like.
Yeah, I mean, Quagmire got to work out once he discovered internet porn. Have you seen that one, Andy?
No. Which one was it?
Family Guy. It was when Quagmire discovers internet porn, and so he starts jerking off like crazy.
Oh.
It's like, geez, where you been?
Yeah, so he comes out of his house, and he's got this arm. Hang on, let me put it in other images, other pictures.
Stop.
I just put it in other pictures. You see it, Andy?
Hold on. Oh. Oh my God, the masturbation.
Yes, that one swole masturbation.
Well, I guess you can tell which hand he uses.
Yeah.
If he was ambidextrous, he'd be really swole.
Yep.
I wonder if girls do that too.
Well, yeah, they just do it a different way. Or they use.
No, what I mean is do they get obsessed with it like Quagmire does?
Oh, it depends on the libido. Quagmire just has an insanely high libido.
But yes, that actually does.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
But
'Cause, you know, they always talk about guys being the perverts.
Women can be perverted, man. I swear.
Yeah. Perversion is not limited to a gender.
Wow. All right, good to know.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, on the topic we were discussing, organization. And I talked about how in public school I had to, sit at this tiny ass desk, you know, with the lifting lid and everything, and hardly had enough space for anything. That was always frustrating to deal with. But Andy, did you go to public school or private school?
Public school.
Public school. Okay, so you know the desks I'm talking about. Those tiny ass, lifting lids where you can only put in a few binders and everything.
Yeah. It's been a while, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so frustrating to deal with. And how we didn't get lockers until middle school. Now, granted, I still got my first car when I was like 16. It was this piece of crap that my stepmom drove for a long ass time. Yeah, but so basically, after I got that car, I didn't bother with my locker in high school. I just put everything in my trunk.
Oh, that's understandable.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And frankly, I didn't even eat out of the cafeteria anymore. I just went home for lunch because, again, it was like a 5-minute drive. So it's like, on top of this, I hated the cafeteria food. So it's like, just go home and eat up whatever's in the fridge.
Okay. I'm surprised your school would let you do that.
Well, I don't know if some schools still do it because it's sort of a off-campus lunch is a privilege, not a right. And as I said earlier, talking about how the locks on lockers have to be built into the locker so that they don't get stolen. Because chances are there's always that one kid, if it's a padlock that can be removed from the locker, they'll fucking steal it.
Yeah. And let's be real here. I bet Sarah would do that to your locker just to fuck with you.
What, steal the padlock?
Yeah, just to fuck with you and be like, you'd be like, what? You'll be like, oh, where did my padlock go? She'll be like, oh, I have no idea. Where could it ever have been?
No, she probably would have done, if she wanted to really mess with me, she would have done something much worse.
Like what? Like shoving you into the locker and then closing it?
No, she wouldn't have been strong enough for that. Believe it or not, I've always been kind of built. In high school, that's really when, I filled out. And again, I was captain of the wrestling team and everything, so. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so. Big dude. So if she wanted to mess with me, she probably would have figured out another way to do it.
Psychological warfare.
Yep. Psychological warfare indeed. But
I mean, that's what for a while he was bigger and stronger than me. So I had to think of other ways of getting him back.
Mm-hmm.
And that was psychological warfare.
Yep.
One time burned my dolls, melting them. And I got very upset at that. And in the middle of the night, while he was sleeping, I tied him to the bed. And he woke up in a fright. He's like, Sarah, what are you doing? And I said, You burned my Barbie dolls. I didn't like that. So I'm just going to teach you a lesson. And he can't move. Like his wrist and ankles were tied. And I'm sitting on the bed just looking at him. And he's like, for the love of God, don't do anything. And I went, I'm not going to do much. I'm just going to hurt you a little bit. And of course, that made it worse.
Oh, I thought this was going to be some BDSM type thing where you tie him to the bed and then you have your way with it.
Well, no, that's her brother. She wouldn't do that.
It's her brother.
Yeah.
She said you. Okay.
No, she's talking about what she did to her brother.
Oh, her brother. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
So, I didn't.
Well, this was Alabama. It'd still work.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
So I just basically scared the bejesus out of him, and he was like, I'll never touch anything again.
And oh yeah, Andy, you came in late. We showed this at the beginning. Morocco was on this channel called Dusty Dubs. I don't know if you've seen him.
Nope.
He dubs over puppies and kittens and everything. And let me see if here we go. Let me replay the video. It is so cute.
Hold on.
All right, you see it?
Hold on. Loading in. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, here we go.
I don't hear it though. Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Oh, but did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
It is so cute.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. It was on TikTok. It got a lot of views, and I submitted another one of when Morocco and Star wrestle around. So we'll see if he does that one too.
It just makes you kind of happy because that guy probably gets hundreds or thousands of pet videos, and he saw Morocco's right away, and it was like, you know what, I could work with this.
Mm-hmm. A little smile. But I guess if and or when Nate shows up, I'll save the explanation of the Trapper Keeper. But in terms of how you were organized at school, Andy, would you describe yourself as messy or organized?
I'd say more organized than messy.
More organized, you actually, kept everything squared away. You didn't leave random crap crammed in the corner of your desk or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was the messy kid. Like, when it was end of the school year, it was time to clean out your desk. Oh my god, I had all sorts of scattered pens and colored pencils crammed at the bottom I had to dig out. Because when I finished an assignment, I would just toss my pen or pencil in there and just go to the next class or leave school. I just didn't care. And then obviously my backpacks became a mess. There were, like, no joke, I lost my Game Boy at one point, and so finally, near the end of high school, I'm like, I always wondered where that thing was, and I dug around in my backpack and fished it out. I'm like, there it is. It was caked in like dust and stuff.
Interesting.
And working on being more organized is something I have struggled with a long ass time. Lady Stone can attest to that.
Oh yeah, and you're also kind of a hoarder.
I was for a long time, yeah. Like
You still are.
I get rid of things more easily now. Okay, give me some credit. I get rid of some things.
Yeah, after me going, really?
Admittedly, yes, I held on to some, let's say, socks of the church. Yes, holy socks. And yeah, I had a hard time getting rid of them, but I'm better about getting rid of them now.
Bro, when we moved in, after we got married, I was like, well, we can't use this. We don't have any need for that. Why are we getting this? Why do we have this? And I mean, seriously, like, you had so many things. It was like, this wasn't used. This is not used now. This was used 10 years ago.
And again, like,
and
for me, I needed it pointed out to me. I'll admit that.
And then finally, I picked up your Captain America painting to put it someplace else. You snatched it from my hand and said, please, it's the only thing I have left. And my brother just looked at you like you were crazy. And I said, I wasn't going to throw it away. I was just moving it. Oh. Oh, okay. Lloyd was like, wow, really? Over a Captain America painting? I said, I know. It wasn't even like made by a friend. It's something you can get at Hobby Lobby for $40.
Yeah, I was, and I don't know where it comes from. That's the weird thing about like this hoarding mindset. It just kind of creeps up on you, and then before you know it, you're hoarding a bunch of shit you don't need.
You get it from your mother.
Yeah, I definitely get it from my mom. She hoards like fucking crazy. She hangs on to every little thing we've ever done. Like every last school assignment, every last picture we've ever taken, she has framed. You know, it's like, my God.
And
Oh man,
like every toy, and she goes, "Oh, do you remember I used to play with this?" And she would give it to you. Like, am I supposed to play with it now?
Yeah, it was just like, again, she hung on to almost everything. You know, and with some expectation that, we're gonna, give it to our own kids one day. And it's like, even if we have kids, it's like, I don't know if I would give them this. You know?
Oh, plus you're like, I
Yeah. It's like, I'm sure these kids would want something newer because, by the time they're old enough to play with toys, they're gonna want the newest toy.
don't know. I was pretty happy with hand-me-downs.
Yeah. Some kids are happy with hand-me-downs.
I mean, because I would not raise my kids on saying newer is better
Yeah.
because newer is not better.
Yeah.
At times, I wouldn't say all the time. But
Yeah.
for me, it's just more like I'm pretty easy to please
Yeah.
when it comes to toys and whatnot.
Yeah. And the main thing is, like, I think my mom just largely clings on to stuff through just sheer sentimentality. She's a very sentimental person.
Very.
Yeah. And, like, it definitely blinds her to, like, a lot of obvious shit sometimes. It's almost, like, comical in some ways. Like, what? There was one thing you were pointing out, like, last, like, I don't know, a visit or two ago. What was it you were pointing out, like, how much her sentimentality blinds her?
Well, it's just like you're not the same person you were
Mm-hmm.
10 years before.
Yeah.
Or it's like um you can't expect people to like the same thing. That's unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't really remember because she always does something where it's like you have to have this, you have to have that.
Or we have to go here.
Oh, don't you remember you loved it when we did this? It's like, well, yeah, when I was 5.
Yeah. It's like, I think it just comes from boomers just not wanting to change.
I would say, I mean, the mentality was, if you think about it, is like, um, if it wasn't broken and you're too old for that, you pass it down to your younger sibling or cousin. It's
Yeah.
just things were passed down until they could no longer be used.
Yeah.
Everything was really built to last, and if you broke it, you didn't get another one.
Yep.
But the problem is with certain people, they hold a sentimental value over it, and they can't and won't let go because they want to cling on to something that's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like your mom wants you to be a child still for her to dote on, for her to baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not happening anymore, which is why she wasn't happy when you got married.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Doting on you is Sarah's job now.
Yep. Hey! Shh.
she didn't like being nice.
Morocco, we're fine.
So it's one of those things where it's like you can't let go.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. He's being a guard dog right now.
It's okay.
Morocco, come here. Come here. We're fine. We're fine. Shh. Shh. Hey. We're fine, baby boy. We're fine.
But it's like for my family, when it comes down to holding on to things, is that we repurposed it.
Mhm.
Like, in order to honor our great grandparents, we took some of their old shirts and either put them on a quilt, or we've made scent packets to put in your drawers. Just little things like that. It doesn't take up much space, and it could be useful to the person you gave it to.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, one thing I actually saw my dad holding on to, interestingly enough, was a toolbox that belonged to my great-grandfather, his grandfather, and this thing is old. Like, the wood is, like, not polished. It is this old-ass toolkit. It's even got this, like, really old rope on it. And I'm like, Dad, how old is that thing? And he's like, I'd say it's about 150 years old. And I'm like, bro. and it looked even older than that. It looked like it could have been my great-great-grandfather's. And he just uses it simply to use it. You know?
that's probably his way of honoring his grandparents.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with holding on to something like that, as long as it can be used. But holding on for the sake of just saying, I miss it when my kids were younger.
Yeah. Or it reminded me of a time where things were simpler or easier for me, things like that.
And there's nothing wrong with holding on to one thing, but when you're just basically making it your life,
Yeah.
it becomes a problem.
Yeah, or you're just, again, it gets to that point where you see it on extreme hoarders where they have entire freaking, pods. You know what pods are, right, Andy?
No.
They're these shipping containers, basically, that you use for moving. Here, I'll show you. But they came out in, like, I saw commercials for them.
But it's basically where you
Oh, yeah, Nate did just join. There you are, Nate.
People. Okay, go. I am on phone right now, but it's because I literally just hacking locked my door. So, yeah.
Oh.
If
But
you
it's
also hear
basically
something, it's just because I literally just crossed the threshold to my home.
Okay, hang on.
We
Lady
get-
Stone was in the middle of a thought.
we get it. You just got home. Pods are basically portable storage units.
Yeah, here, I'll put a picture of one in the other pictures.
I don't think you need to give a picture about it.
Well, if he doesn't know what they are, then he doesn't know what they look like.
Where does he live?
You said Washington, right, Andy?
Yeah.
But he doesn't know what a storage unit is?
Yeah, or you've never
I
seen,
know what a storage unit is. Yeah, I know what that is.
you never seen a pod before, one of these? I put it in other pictures.
Another. Oh, those? Yeah. I know what those are. Okay.
Yeah. Admittedly, if you don't move for a while, it takes you moving somewhere to remind you, oh yeah, these things exist.
Like this.
But anyways, Nate, it better late than never, I suppose. Go ahead and give us the intro.
Wait, was the episode number 57?
57,
58?
yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
57.
Hello, Douglas across all platforms. Welcome to the Edith Podcast, episode 57.
Fastest run through of the intro, but I'll take it.
I didn't even
What?
understand him.
That's what?
I said fastest run through of the intro, and we barely understood you.
Well, I'm sorry. Again, phone, and I just got home.
It's okay.
Explain to me what you meant by the keeper, whatever you said, and
a trapper keeper.
what?
Basically, a trapper keeper is like a super binder. Let me show you.
Super what?
It's like a super binder. It came out in the 90s, and thus all these neon colors that when you watch this, you'll see them. But typically they're sealed with like a little elastic band or Velcro. But you can keep your laptop in there or whatever. But here, I'm putting it in other pictures.
Okay. I know, like binders from for Pokemon cards, but like,
Yeah, you see it?
oh, it's a brand. That's not
Well,
something right on the
I
heckin'
mean,
thing.
some
see.
are
Or
brands,
well,
but
no, the brand is Mead. I see, and the Trapper Keeper is like the product name.
yeah,
I
it's
mean, it
basically what it
literally
was.
has an R there, so yeah.
Yeah, so there's all sorts
That's
of
why.
different like Trapper Keepers.
Why I don't know it.
What?
It may have like a common, like a different common name, but obviously as a European, a non-native
What is it named
English
over
speaker, I'm not gonna know the USA common name for it.
It's okay. But I guess what would they call it in Europe? Like something like that.
I have no idea because, like, I mean, it's not a. It's like a hacking document folder, but also not because you said, like, you can also keep your laptop in it. And I don't know because, I mean, obviously it's not a pencil case as the thing that I kind of hinted at, like in the. Well, hinted at. I think I said it in the initial idea, but yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
I mean, yeah, Trapper Keepers are one way to like organize like pens and papers you're wanting to carry with you.
Wait,
But
are
at the
there
beginning,
like the little loop, like the little fabric and elastic loops inside that you can slide your pens in?
yeah, I mean, some have that. Let me take a
Okay.
look here. Let me see if there's any that are open in the images tab here. We're not showing a lot of them open.
Oh,
But typically most have those. Oh, here we go. Who just joined in? Oh, there
I
you
have
are,
no
Rabbit.
idea, I'm unpacking.
It's okay. We were just looking at Trapper Keepers, and we're talking about more or less organization and keeping ourselves organized because it's officially springtime. So kind of brought into the
Hey,
topic of
sorry about
spring
that. I was on
cleaning
the
and
road.
everything.
Lol. Y'all with my
Yeah.
spring cleaning. I kind of started doing a New Year cleaning, but I'll get back to it eventually. It's no,
Eventually.
no. We don't.
Bleh.
It's not next year. I need to
All right,
get this
let's
place
get
like
this
deep
get going,
cleaned.
guys.
Wait, hold on. What'd you say, Andy?
I gotta get going.
Okay, bye bye.
Later, Andy.
We can do that
All right,
next year.
See you later.
Okay, so towards the beginning when Andy was here, we were talking about like how we tried to organize ourselves during school and everything, and I talked about like how the old ass desks we had were just these lid lifting things that yeah.
Lol.
Yeah.
What kind of desks do you have over there, SMH?
What were you saying, Nate?
Yeah. And when they're new, they have those little dividers, and then they get ripped out. And then it's just an open compartment. Organizing's, yeah. It really depends. Like asking what kind of desks they have in the States. It depends on the school district.
Yeah.
So I mean, you'll go say just middle school level. I'll just use those. So we're talking
Wow.
up until the age of maybe
Yeah.
13 or 14 years old. I don't know how old I was. It's been forever.
Mm-hmm.
You could go from one school and it will have a desk that you could barely sit in, and it's a plastic seat with a metal framework that is built like a torture device from
Yeah,
the Spanish
but that's
Inquisition.
like wow, like
And you
that's a lot
have
of
a desktop
variety.
that is barely big enough for a notepad. And then you go to the next school that is down the road, and it's a work desk. So it really depends.
Yeah.
It really depends
Well,
on
the
the
main
money.
thing is that like the reason why there isn't that is because of like, and this is why our school system here in the
It's a
U.S. just
ton of
fucking
variety.
sucks.
It's too much
It's because
variety.
we have a standardized
It's too much variety,
curriculum
I
that
think. There needed to
everybody
be
has
some
to
sort of
follow,
standardization.
but not standardized funding. Meaning, we
Ouch.
fund our school districts. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
And then teachers don't even know it.
pretty much. Yeah.
And the standard changes halfway through the school year. And then all it turns into is, all right, well, what's the test going to be at the end of the week? Okay, hey, here's what you need to memorize. Memorize the answers. Okay, now brain dump it. So you're not going to learn
What do you
anything.
mean formative?
I think from middle school
What
up
does it
until my
mean?
college years,
Actually,
I've had,
helped you.
Okay.
if I'm counting teachers, 2 professors, I've had 3 educators that were formative. That was it. And that's horrible. They were good. Like, they were really good. Out of dozens and dozens of teachers I've had, I had 3 really good teachers, and only 1 was a college professor. And that's sad. So I had 1 that was really good in middle school. I had 1 that was really good in all 4 years of my high school, so like pre-university. And then I had 1 professor that was really good at university.
Hey.
That's it. And that it just kind of goes to show here in the States, there are colleges that are really good, but no. But organization, that was, I think, one of the biggest lessons I learned in the military was how to organize and how to pack effectively. Because you want to get those bags, like just the rucksack or the backpack that you're carrying with you everywhere. You want to get that thing as small and as
That's nice.
compact and as organized as possible. But at the same time, you want to be able to get into it and grab essential things as you're moving without having to dig through it. So you, as you're walking in your mind, you know exactly where every item is on your back. So you can literally, after a while, you should be able to know where you can grab stuff out of your rucksack or your backpack or whatever. But at the same time, organizationally, I've been to places where everyone was told, everyone is going to have this item and you're going to keep it on you in exactly this place. Primarily like medical stuff, like bandages, tourniquets, sailing bags, painkillers, things like that. So if someone got hurt and they couldn't help themselves, I could get to them and I knew exactly where they should be keeping that stuff on their body because that's what I'm going to use. So I shouldn't have to look for it. I could just go,
Right, 'cause
I know his bandages are in his left shoulder.
people would
I know his tourniquet is on his right leg. Things like that. So there's another element of organizing and things there. Everyone knows where everything is at all times. Same with, say,
Mhm.
inside the vehicles. Everyone knows where the toolkit is, what is in the toolkit, what variations you have. Put it back when you're done. Please. That kind of stuff. And you can kind of tell there's 2 things that happen.
Yep.
2 variations. Some people get out of the military and they carry it over, and some people get out of the military and they're like, I'm going to revolt against this and
Plastic
never do it
or
again.
cardboard?
But even those, but the way they revolt is, I'm not going to organize it, but it's all going to go in a box. So all their military stuff is in a box, and that's me. All my military
That's
stuff is in a
nice.
box, just
When we upgrade,
stashed away
we definitely need to
over the side.
take everything that's in the storage unit and definitely.
Oh, it's in a
reorganize
plastic
it for
box,
sure.
locked up, like in a
Because,
hardcore plastic box.
We'll save the news for later, later reveal. But
No, I'm not pregnant.
no, no, Lady Stone is not pregnant.
I will fucking kill myself if I found out I'm pregnant. I'll perform my own
What?
C-section. I will
Ooh.
throw myself down the stairs. I will do anything to not have a
Mazel
child.
tov.
Yeah, she is not wanting
Triplets.
She's not wanting kids, right?
Woo!
Forever, yeah. If I had to pick between the 3, baseball, I guess.
Well, pick a sport. Pick a sport. Do you like baseball, soccer, or hockey?
If we were going to have kids, that's probably what we do, honestly, is adopt.
Oof. Oh, well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Stone. You got to have 9 for a full baseball squad.
If I had to have that need of taking care of
It's just probably
something, I
easier.
would
It's easier to
foster
go ahead and adopt.
and I would make sure to foster to older kids because after a certain age,
Yeah.
it's like
And
puppies
that's all you
kittens.
ask. What
Yeah.
sport do you want to
Everyone
play,
wants
kid?
a puppy or a
What?
kitten, but when
I
they
don't-
get too old, nobody wants them anymore.
Yeah, so there's a
So-
lot of kids in the system who
Oof.
need somebody.
So
Yeah. Oh, I'm this. Yeah.
Damn.
That's kind of like, that was my whole thought on it was if I
quarterbacks
fostered or adopted or
cute,
whatever,
but it's like, let's,
that would be the only
maybe a
thing I would ask is,
linebacker
what
or
sport do you want to
wide
practice?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Football. Cool. What position?
But-
Quarterback. Cool. Practices at 5. I'll see you in the
receiver. I just
backyard.
get really sick of-
What?
I
Yep.
just get really sick of people going, "Oh, you change your mind," or it's like, "How about no? I'll never change my mind," and don't try and say, "Oh,
Oh, yeah.
well,
I
what
got
about your
weights.
husband?" Well,
I got weights, a tire, and a rope. What are you doing?
yeah,
This is
it's
child
like,
abuse. No, it's practice.
It's like my husband should get a vasectomy because I don't want fucking kids, and I'll get my tubes tied. Snip, snip. I motherfuckers.
He doesn't have a say in this.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So here's the interesting one because I just had a friend of mine. She finally got her whole procedure done. And this is, I kind of guess, this is like life organization on a whole. You're organizing your life at this point. So when she was 21, initially, I didn't know this. When she was 21, she went to go to the active duty military provider to get the procedure done. So she, you know what? No kids. I'm done. I don't want this. And the provider actually refused it. Not just the military provider, a civilian one also did after she got the referral to go and do it. So that was 2. And what she was told was the policy, this strange policy, I forget the name of it, that she was referred over to, stated that they did not recommend those procedures until someone was in their late 20s to their 30s. Because then it gives people the time, quote unquote, to decide whether or not they wanted kids. The day she turned 30, she went right back to the doctor and said, yeah, I'm sure. Doctor remembered her. I still don't have a kid. I'm really sure I don't want this. Oh, I guess sure. But like I get it. It's a permanent deal. Got it. But if I go in at 21
Yeah.
and
And
the
end of
world
the day,
being
we
what
know
it
it's
is,
free
and I tell the
sperm and
doctor,
eggs anyway.
listen, snip, snip,
Hmm.
done.
Vasectomy, it's reversible.
Well, you're 21.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
as well.
If I'm 21 and I'm looking at it and I can
So
give
it's
you a
like,
valid
if you change
reason
your
as to why
mind,
I'm
you
never
can
going to have a
always get it
kid,
reversed.
Yeah.
you better listen.
Yeah,
With tube
reconnected.
tie or
Yeah.
taking it out completely is a bit more extreme, but at the same
True.
time, it's like, and
Yeah.
it's like, honestly, if men had to give birth or deal with periods or deal with anything remotely childbearing, I guarantee you there would be
Oh,
vasectomies available whenever, birth control in every corner,
Mhm.
and but not get the hate.
essentially, yeah. There would be a male pill by now.
What?
I said there'd be a male pill by now, basically where you take the pill and then after you take it, you're shooting blanks.
We would also have like, it would be a major sponsor like the NFL.
There is a disease for everything.
But there was also, oh, where is it?
What,
There was a
sterile?
disease.
That's crazy.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
There is a disease. I know there's a disease for everything. Is a disease that's a variant of influenza or bronchitis
Jesus.
that also
Dang.
targets testosterone. Yeah, it does. It's related to the bronchitis virus and the influenza virus in a way because it's transmitted in a similar way. However, it chemically castrates men. In 80% of cases, it results in a permanent chemical castration.
Also,
But it's related to the
now that both of you
bronchitis
are here-
virus because it's transmitted that way. I can't remember what it's called, but I heard a comedian talk about it and said, "Oh, honey, I'm not on the pill." And you just kind of laugh and go, "I am."
Oh.
because you are making society suck.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. Nobody wants to chat in this
but then
economy.
now Congress and Senate are looking at it
But
and they're
hang on.
freaking out, going, "Oh no, the birth rate is dropping." Yeah, birth rate is dropping due to you
Wow.
guys. What?
But hang on, guys. I have to show you something.
Do
Morocco
you think I want to have a kid now?
on Dusty Dubs. I don't know if you heard Dusty
Uh-huh.
Dubs on TikTok or
When my
YouTube,
grocery bill
but
is twice
basically
that
dubs
of my
over
car
animals.
payment,
But
I don't want to have a
um,
kid.
you guys got to see this. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, check this out. Obviously, you see the thumbnail, his little smile, but look at this.
Yes. Oh,
I love it. He's a very photogenic dog. And everyone tells us we won the cute dog lottery with him. Yeah, he's very fluffy and silly.
Oh
Morocco, get
my
over here,
God.
you fluff. Come here, you fluff.
Oh man.
Perhaps gonna get pet.
Yes, he's getting pets because he's just very silly and very cool.
Yes, he's a floofer.
Aw. Aw.
Damn.
Poor boy.
floof.
Drama dog.
Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
finagle
okay.
my dog today. He's
Yeah,
got
this
little
is like why I'm like
matty
never getting like
sections on his back
long-haired
legs
guinea
because he
pig.
doesn't like us
Or maybe like if I
brushing
like
it.
But yeah,
So
not
I had to
so
go
lot
at
of
it with the
care.
scissors.
Lot of snipping.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
No.
That's one way to do it.
Nah. Like the way I know these rodents, like they would probably start to hacking like playing with it or eating it.
Just put like a hairbrush
yeah.
upside down and maybe the guinea pig will brush itself.
Nibble nibble.
But
So yeah.
back on the topic of organization, we're gonna. I guess the announcement we can tell you guys.
Yeah, I just thought of
is,
that. They'll eat it.
We are. My dad is
Ugh.
actually helping us, move into
That
an
would be
actual house.
goodness.
He's willing to. Yeah,
Dang.
he's actually willing
Yes.
to give us a substantial down payment for it and co-sign on the mortgage and everything. And we're basically, as long as we do all the legwork in terms of finding a house and everything and keeping up with it, and making sure it's of a decent price and everything. And the housing market here in Wichita is really good. So we should find a really good deal.
Lucky.
Yeah. And that's going to happen sometime in October. So I will warn you that there will be weekends where we will be indisposed the closer that gets.
What do you
because
mean
we'll be busy.
indisposed?
I mean,
he won't be able to post back to you.
yeah, or I won't be able to. We might have to skip a luncheon day or everything because, again, if we've scheduled a walkthrough on a house, then we have to go to that walkthrough and get it done and everything. But I'll let you guys know as things start up on that. Yep. Yeah, that's the hard part, but in the end, it'll all be worth it.
Yep.
Because we'll actually be, building equity.
And then there's the
on top of this, we'll be
paperwork
able
and
to
the
take all of this
lookovers
to the
and
next level.
the
We'll be able
inspections.
to have more
Joy.
credit, and thus
Yes.
we can actually invest in this a little bit, both in terms of production quality and everything. So there will be that. Yeah. So an actual camera, or much better mics, all the works. That's the most important thing. And hopefully by that point, I'll have
Huzzah!
gotten my raise at work as well, and on top of this, maybe collected more. We'll see. But point being, it's gonna be some short-term pain, but for long-term gain.
Yay.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
But again,
yeah,
like I
if you
said,
want to put it that way.
it's all gonna be worth it in the end. That's home ownership is, from what I've heard,
we do
always
enjoy
worth
that.
it in the end.
We're a masochist for the societal pain.
Unless huh?
Mhm.
When you think about it,
I mean, I've
everybody
enjoyed
at the
it.
end of the day is a
I
kid.
feel
that
like an
just got
adult.
bigger.
I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like an
yeah.
adult. Pay a mortgage and taxes and watch cartoons and eat mac and cheese. Adult.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's all we are. And the most adult thing, organizing. I mean, I do have some things organized over here. I know I organized some of my books that I'm looking at. I've organized
Yeah.
the coins that I got through my military career. I organized my Pokemon cards. I organized all the Liquid Death flavor cans
Panic
that I've got.
Uh-huh.
Like I organize things that mean
Oh, yeah.
something to me. But a lot of it is also
Yeah, I have a whole
if it's going to be out of sight, out of mind, and I don't need it, it just goes in a box,
It's all cable.
like a panic box, and it goes away, like cables, cords, electronic thing, because you never know. You never know when you're going to need a weird random
I only
cable.
throw away broken cables,
or
so
because you never know if you end up needing it.
Mhm.
yeah, and there's and anytime I've thrown away a cable, within a week, 2 weeks, I've needed that cable. So I've had to go and buy another cable. Yeah. And I have the tools to fix cables. So I keep broken ones and I just cut off the material that is still usable and I keep that in another little drawer. So I've got all that ready to go. I've got hardware parts so I can just make my own components and things like that. So I'm a tiny bit tech savvy. I can make all that stuff. But I guess every couple of weeks, the wife and I will have these spasmodic, like full day manic cleaning episodes.
Yep.
Where we'll just attack a full section of the house.
Have those days, but we're trying to get it to where it's
organize, clean, and but it always turns into. And I know we're not the only ones that do this. Everything turns into complete chaos and disarray first, and it looks worse. Then it looks better at the end.
Yeah, it really does. But organizing does also, and it feels good at the end.
Oh, right.
Right. And you get so much more room for activities, and there's a whole market. There's an entire market and industry around organizing. You've got shelves, organizers, nooks, drawers, furniture, all this stuff. And there's always like a new gadget or gizmo or whatever that says freeze up counter space, freeze up wall space, freeze up your drawer space, and organizes better.
Sometimes.
And it all comes down to this idea of if we can sell you a better way to organize things physically, it'll make you, the customer, feel better about yourself. That's really what we're selling you. Does it work? I don't know. Because I know, like, I've got that silverware organizer. I don't use it because I'm cleaning my silverware and it just kind of sits on the counter drying. Until I use it again. So I don't think my silverware has ever made it back into the silverware organizer because it's always just I clean it in the sink,
few closing
dry it,
thoughts. We need to
and then I use
decide
it again.
on the thumbnails for the videos.
So I don't know why I have that.
Again, the standing image. So, Rabbit, I'm going to pull up images from our DMs. So,
I mean, again, like
we'll-
if you like, for the thumbnails, it's just like meh.
what'd you say, Nate?
I
Oh,
mean, like,
yes.
to me, like, I mean, if you like, I don't know, like, to me, I don't think like these like need a thumbnail. But if you like,
I have
really
no say-
want,
at the
I
same
would
time,
just
I have no say in-
choose like a simple like
Yeah.
the text, saying like the name of the series and the number of episodes. Just maybe like simple colors, just like white on black, maybe. But
Well, this is what Rabbit came up with right here. I just put it in big brain chalk.
I don't like content channel, but okay.
You know
I
what?
just like go like I said like to put it in the content channel, but if it's just one, then that's
I
fine.
think you'll like this.
I put it in big brain talk right now.
I
It's just
know.
one, yeah.
I'm seeing it.
So what do you think?
The headphones, like I would appreciate they would be also the but who is supposed to be the guinea pig? That's my
I
question.
think that's all of us.
Are we all guinea pigs? Lol.
I mean, to be fair, Nate really doesn't stay quiet about his guinea pigs, so it makes sense to have one.
I mean, look, like if like
It's just a
in
guinea
my
pig.
like drawing that I plan to make, I maybe like have just like holding Rambo or someone, I don't know, in there.
I mean, we can take a look at your drawing once you've finished it. Is it
Yeah.
finished or is it still a work in progress?
No, it's a work in, but I haven't even started like the sketch because I need like everyone to again like send me their references and all that.
Okay, and we can always use different images and
Yeah.
experiment
know there
and see
were-
what people end
yeah.
up liking.
Yeah,
'Cause-
because to use
Yeah.
just one is kind of unfair.
Yeah, and on top of this, you never know what people end up liking.
Oh yeah,
All right.
because
Yeah.
that was kind of like me
Yeah,
just kind
that's-
of
I do
brainstorming
like
like
the way
where
these
are
look and
we headed,
everything.
and you had mentioned
But
guinea
we can
pigs
always,
the day
again,
I was
experiment with,
getting an idea of where we were headed. I was
what
like,
people end
oh,
up
guinea
liking.
pig,
And,
Yeah.
guinea
know,
pig fun.
And for
There's
like
one
special
guinea
days
pigs.
of like special like I don't know if we do like a winter solstice one, we can like have a festive like in the
yeah, especially with how cold it was this winter. We were basically, dealing with snow. I think.
I'll put
Golly.
the Bardock in a puffiest
Oh,
coat
like
you've
have a
ever
background
seen.
match the theme.
Yep. But we were dealing
Excuse
with
me.
snow for the better part of January and February, weren't we, my love? Yeah.
Blah.
Yeah. It was a lot of snow this year. Oh wow. In Indiana, I understand because that's more north, but I think we're out of the woods for
Absolutely
snow
nuts.
here.
I mean, it snowed in Indiana yesterday. And I'm looking outside
Oh,
going,
ew.
are you kidding me?
Whites their skin.
It's
It's the wind for me, like ugh.
yeah,
Cold wind,
Yeah, just,
ew.
open.
just bite.
Don't get me wrong. I love it. But when it is
But
windy,
at any rate, we'll
and
we'll
wet
come. Well,
and
maybe come to a
slushy?
decision, or we'll
No.
experiment.
no,
with
no, no, no,
these.
no.
But how about we use the second one as an experiment for this episode? Does
No, please.
everybody agree with that one?
Like you mean for like for just the thumbnail, or like you just put it in for the whole video?
In for the whole video, as well as like
Okay.
I'll alter it a little bit for the thumbnail. Just put like episode 57 like at
Okie
the
dokie.
corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
I think that'll work. But anyways, we'll open this up to closing thoughts, and I will start us off. So closing thoughts on organization. Like I said at the beginning, it is something I have always struggled with, and I need to get better on it, because especially if we are going to own a home, I need to be organized in what days I mow the lawn, what times I need to, make sure I am organized with everything to ensure that, our home is in optimal condition, and especially considering Dad wants it to be a duplex so that we actually make money off of it. So basically, whenever a tenant moves out or before they move in, we need to ensure that the rooms are in tip-top shape, so that any tenant moving in has a pleasant stay, and it's really a, it's a tough thing, but I know it's rewarding, and I know it's rewarding, but it's so hard to do sometimes,
Wait, so are you not gonna live there? Or are you just...
We are. Basically, how a duplex works is that basically you live in one half of the house, and then a tenant lives in the other half of the house.
Oh, so you're gonna have basically a housemaid that's partaking in the in the rent and everything, because obviously they're gonna be paying you.
Basically,
Lol.
yeah. But it's more like it's two completely separate spaces, so it's not like we're having to constantly deal with each other,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty
Cool.
much. All right, so Rabid, your closing thoughts on organization?
It's like having a couple of beta fish and you've put one of those one-way mirrors in between the two fish in the tank. It's overrated. No, it's a learning skill. Everyone has to try and figure out their own way of doing it, because the worst way to organize yourself is to try and organize yourself the way other people tell you to do it. You have to figure out your own way to organize. And the most organized people are the ones that I have found look the most cluttered, but they're the ones that always know where 100% of their things are. The one with the most messed up desk at work can tell you where every single tool, paper, file, whatever is on their workstation at any point, like instantly. And it's the craziest thing. So, I mean, that's a way of organizing. If it's organized mentally or physically, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, like, you're talking about having a duplex, that's a whole other level of pressure. Best of luck to you. And to Mrs. Stone as well. I hope it works out for you.
Organized chaos type.
Yeah.
Again,
that'll definitely
for
be
example,
an exciting turn come October.
Whenever father comes over, he complains that everything is obložení. I don't know how to say it in English right now, but everything is caked in things. But I, for example, can't take if a shelf is unused. If there's an empty space, I need to to put something on there. Whenever it's a plant, it's a piggy bank, or it's a hand cream that I use often, because I have literally a hand cream right there,
layers.
On the shelf that's behind my desk. It's within reach. And again, I know where things are, even if to other people it looks like a mess.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my What?
That's one way to look at it. One person's chaos is another person's organizational clutter.
Yeah, because I put those things there, and I know why I put them there. And yeah.
I can have.
What was the word?
The Czech one.
Or
Obložené. Obložené. I will put it in the voice chat. Obložené.
What was Nate? What was the word you used? Yeah, the Czech word. What was the Czech word of the day?
All right. Yeah, we're at an hour and 5
All
minutes
right,
here.
everybody.
So let's go ahead and just close this out. My boy needs his run.
Obložené.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go, everybody.
Nate,
Our Czech word of the day brought to you by
Goodbye,
Nate.
Pebbles across all platforms. This has been the Idiots Podcast.
Yep. And stopping recording.
Walkies!